Hello, 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 beautiful unicorns. Yana Kasperczak coming to you live from Ontario of Canada with yet another weekly card reading that I do in this Facebook group, Heal the Unicorn, Emotional Healing and Spiritual Growth for Women. So if you're listening to this video or to this podcast elsewhere, come and check out the group, see if this is the tribe and the community you've been looking for. And if not, no hard feelings whatsoever. Keep going and looking for a place that you can call home. And as your certified professional performance and spiritual awakening core energy coach, it has been my soul's purpose to help women, to help you get your shit together so you can break free from that mental prison that you find yourself in and build a business or a life or a career or all of the above in the way that you would actually want to wake up to every single day. And love your life and be proud of your life and be proud of your career, be proud of your business. And stop your self-sabotage and stop your procrastination and show up and do the things that you say you're going to do, even when you're tired and your words are not coming out of your mouth properly, like myself today. We went to the beach yesterday and got fried like a lobster, so I am super red. I know it's kind of hard to tell, but I am super red, super burnt. My face a little bit less, interestingly enough, but all the top is just on fire. So those of you who have experienced the burning of the skin, you know you get cold, and hence why I have my long sleeve on today. So the card reading that I'm going to be doing today is from the deck that has been just on top of my mind for the past couple of weeks, and that is the Shaman's Dream Oracle. All of us dream. Whether you remember your dreams or not, you do dream. And your dreams carry the most profound realizations, messages, reminders, and guides for what's about to come, for what's about to happen. So if you are like me and you spend some time, whether it's every day or once in a while, deciphering your dreams, then you know exactly what I'm talking about, because you have spent enough time with your dreams and understanding your dreams and interpreting your dreams and learning from your dreams to know that they carry powerful, profound messages. And if you're also like me, that you don't always do that, and also the rest of the world that doesn't spend time every single day deciphering their dreams and understanding their dreams, then this oracle deck will help as well. The wall, obstacles. The first thing that comes to mind is each and every one of us has walls that we have built all around ourselves. And all of these walls are built with bricks. And each brick is it's a block. Each brick is a block. You're building your walls full of blocks. Lego blocks. Bricks, if you will. Now, great thing about walls is that they can be taken down, they can be broken, and they can be rebuilt. And the crappy thing about those walls is that you can't see what's on the other side of the wall. And this is where that fear of unknown takes place, takes shape, is that you're standing in front of this wall that is full of enormous amount of stories that you have been gathering, collecting throughout your whole entire life, that makes up your life, that creates that default program that you have, which dictates your life. 95% of your day, you are living unconsciously. 5% of your day, you're conscious, which means 95% of how your day to day, your week to week, your month to month life goes is based on those default programs that are running you as a computer that you are. The way you speak, the way that you respond or react, the way that you think, the way that you take in information, literally every little part of who you are is a set of programs that you have created within you, primarily unconsciously, and part of it is conscious. Very, very small part is conscious, and the rest is unconscious, which creates and builds these walls that you have, that the ceiling as well. When I'm talking about walls, it's not just all around you, it's on top. It's a glass ceiling that you might see up, but you don't see high enough of how high you can move, how high you can reach, who you can potentially become, because you still see there's a limit to who you can and cannot be, what you can, I cannot have, what you can, I cannot experience. And I see this all the time, and I saw this in myself, and it became my mission to not only see and identify all of these blocks, all of these bricks that make up these walls that are around me, but to identify them, but then overcome them and help everyone else, all the women that I work with, that I talk with, to help them overcome their own blocks, their own bricks that build these walls all around each and every human being. Okay, now this is just based on looking at the card, what came through. There's more coming through, but I feel like it's time to go into the actual description of the card. Oh, pardon me, I am tired today. That's what I was saying. No matter how you're feeling, that you're still going to, oh, and look, it opens right on the page. It really wants to be read. And no matter how you're feeling, it's, when you love the life that you're living, you will be excited to wake up to the life, to the business, to your career, to everything, no matter how you're feeling. And actually not that long ago, that was probably exactly where most of you are. I did not want to wake up. I did not want to start my day. I did not like or even enjoy any part of my day. I felt completely lost and miserable. And honestly, I don't like to use the word hate, but in looking back in the hindsight, I can tell you that I hated my life. I hated everything that I did and didn't do. And most of all, I hated myself. And this is where it actually starts. When you love yourself, you love everything that you do. But if you don't like yourself, let's start at least with liking, and then loving comes after. Then you're not going to like anything you do. Because if you truly like or love yourself, you wouldn't do the things that you didn't want to do. You would only do the things that you want to do. It's either you do them and you make sense of why you're doing it and why you love doing it, or you just don't do it at all because it just does not align with you and who you are. Good morning, Rebecca, to you as well. Rebecca says knowledge is power. I agree, but I would also add that knowledge actually is not power unless we do something with that knowledge. Otherwise, knowledge is just a bunch of information. It's similar to having all these books and having all this knowledge, but not doing anything about it. So knowledge is definitely power, but it's applied knowledge that is the true power. Knowledge is great, but without action, it's just knowledge. It's just information. It's like dust. And then Rebecca says, I have a similar ruby ring. I would imagine it's this one here. I love this ring, and I love this one as well. This one I get a lot of compliments on. Every time I go somewhere to a store, everyone always asks me, oh, where did I get that one? But even if you go to the same place, you won't find the same one because every stone is different. Whereas these kind of stones, they're man-made, so you can have exactly identical stone. as I have. Ruby is my birthstone. Ooh. I think emerald is mine. I'm in May. It's the green one. And I used to hate green color, whereas now I started to question why. Why did I hate green color even though I love nature and being outdoors? And I honestly, I still don't know why I hated it, but now I know why I love it, because it is nature and is very calming and it's very soothing. And I feel like I was more wild and free, and I was always calm and soothed, that green wasn't even anywhere around me aside from being outside. Rebecca says, looking forward to the journey, looking to find out what is making me stuck. Awesome. I love to hear that. And I'm excited to see what you uncover on this journey and what you uncover that is causing you to feel stuck. Lisa says, hey Lisa, how are you doing? Beautiful. It's just stored than wasting space. I would imagine you're talking about knowledge, that knowledge is just stored and then it's kind of wasting space. That's what I think you're referring to, right? And Rebecca says, my ruby ring is more regular and organic in shape, but similar setting with silver. Yeah, this one is man-made. This one is not a natural stone, I'm pretty sure. Otherwise, I would have paid a lot more for it. And me, I enjoy jewelry. I like jewelry. There's a few pieces that I would spend my money on, such as this one. This one is real and it's on silver. But whereas other jewelry and things, not so much. So these earrings my mom got me, and this is actual amber in them. So certain pieces of jewelry are like valuable and important to me, while others I just go to AliExpress and I buy a bunch of different rings or necklaces. Like this is one of them. This was like $2, but it became something valuable to me. Whereas other things, it's just for funsies, right? I'm not the kind of person that spends an arm and a leg on things that don't actually add value to my life. But I will spend money on knowledge and courses and programs and coaches, because that is the value that it brings into my life, that it allows me to go after my dreams, my goals, and become someone I never even thought was possible, to reach levels of myself and my life that no amount of jewelry, no amount of hairstyles or clothes that can ever come close to it. So I've shifted what I see as valuable in more ways than just one. And my life has improved since I shifted the way that I see and perceive things. When I started to question why are we being programmed to be such consumers, and seeing how every single person is a consumer, that by questioning it, I got my answers. You can question the same things and see what it and what you learn from questioning those things. Let me see what else is there. Lisa says, it's just, oh no, that one you said. Lisa said, yes, if not used. It's crazy. 3 of us in our small circle have been stuck for weeks. Yeah, knowledge is, like I said, it's just stored. And I like to refer to, because I love decluttering and organizing, and I see it as rental opportunity, right? Rental opportunity. And this is one of the biggest realizations that I had why we downsized our house, because we lived in a house which was double the size. Double the size, maybe actually a little bit more than double the size of where we live now. And I had this realization that would not leave me alone. until I did something about it. And the realization was all of the space that we have in this house, if we could rent it out, we would get a lot of money for it. So why are we living in a space that is just wasted space? And the same thing with knowledge. When we are renting out that space in our minds and our bodies by putting knowledge in, and we're not doing anything about it, we're not actually putting it to use and saying, here is what I know. You rent it out, and then in a way you get your investment come back to you, right? That you're earning through your rental, right? So knowledge, if you're not using it, it's like you allowing someone to stay and live within you rent free, versus you using that knowledge and you're getting the residuals back from that investment, that you're actually getting that money, quote unquote, from the renter. Rebecca says, is value expressed a dollar store? Express a dollar store. Is value expressed in dollar store? Do you mean like I'm not sure what you mean by that. Is value expressed a dollar store? Do we see value in the dollar store? I guess that's kind of how I would read that question. So I'll put it this way. There's people who will go and spend, let's use furniture as an example, in the house. You have options of where you can go to buy your furniture and how much you can spend on that furniture. You can spend $100 on a couch by buying used from someone locally that is replacing their couch, and you go to, let's say, Facebook Marketplace and you buy a couch for $100. Is the couch going to be great? Is it going to be usable? Yeah, right? It's going to be great. It's going to be usable because you're going to see the value of that couch. Whereas they spend a lot more money for that couch and they're just selling it for $100. And then there's also, on the other side of that spectrum, is that there's people who will go and buy designer couch because to them, this is what they see as valuable. It speaks of status, right? So recognizing yourself and who you want to be. And it's absolutely okay. If you want to be someone who spends thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars on the couch versus someone who spends just $100 on the couch, or versus someone who just gets a free couch as well off Marketplace, right? It really comes down to where do you place your value and what do you see as valuable versus where you don't. Some people, materialistic, and that's what works for them. For me, no, it doesn't. I'm also not going to be the person who, depending on, where I'm buying the couch for, if I'm buying a couch for my kids and my family to stay and spend time on, and because we sleep on the couch, I would much rather prefer buying a brand new couch, but I'm going to do my research of what kind of couch, where I'm going to buy it. I'm going to wait for a deal because I prefer to still save my money. Whereas if it's for some other place and I'm not the one going to be using the couch, yeah, I'm going to buy used. Why not? Because everybody else is going to be using it, so why not? So if it's, let's say, for a communal place in basement, we have people coming to staying and hanging out or staying over, whatnot, then I will. It really comes down to where do you want to place that value. Okay. Lisa said she heard Value Express versus AliExpress. Yes, AliExpress. That's where my jewelry comes from, some simple, cheap products as well. I can buy a lot of things in AliExpress, actually. It's similar to Temu, but I've been on AliExpress for, I don't know, since I think they opened up and they started. It initially started as Alibaba, or however it's pronounced, and then they moved to AliExpress. What else? Let me just go through the comments. Rebecca says that mine looks real. Yeah, it does look real, but I don't think it is. I mean, mind you, it could be, but I just saw it. I liked it. I'm like, okay, this is going to be a great collection to my rings. I have a lot of different rings, and I share them with my daughter. And that's why, if anything, if they get damaged or they get lost or misplaced or whatever, I'm not really that upset. Certain rings, yes, but majority of them, no, right? And then also we have valuable jewelry that is actually locked in the safe, and those are for like special occasions, and those were special gifts as well. Okay, I will look through the comments after. So let's go right into this reading, shall we, since the page already opened where it's supposed to be. The wall, obstacles, being inconvenienced by life, detours, nonaction. There are moments in your life when you are so geared up, so sure that you are on track, with such drive and momentum that you are shocked and confused when you encounter a wall. How many times have you experienced this? That you are, and I know most of you will be putting your hand up. I've experienced this as well. And this is the biggest test of the universe. I call this a question from the universe. Do you really want this? Do you really, really want this for each wall that you're breaking through? How badly do you actually want this? And you're going to keep breaking through each wall. Every time that you go after something that you really want, you are ready, you're prepared, you have the know-how, you have your, if this happens, this is what I'll do, if this happens, this is what I'll do. You're fully prepared and you're ready. And you start going after what you wanted. The next thing that you know is you hit this wall, and it's an obstacle, it's a challenge, it becomes difficult, it feels almost impossible. You come so close to quitting, or you actually quit and you self-sabotage. You go back to your old ways, you take the easier route. How often have you experienced that? When was the last time you experienced that? Is this something you want to continue to experience, or is this something that you want to stop experiencing in a way that feels like you're done and you give up? What kind of a person do you want to be? Do you want to be the person that sees the wall and says, great, I'm going to go through these bricks. Not every single brick on the wall or block on the wall, but I'm going to deal with this challenge, with this obstacle, and I'm going to break through this wall. And for me, it helps me to see it as how, when I look back at the shape of that wall, when I broke through it, how did I look? Did I look like I was like this and breaking through the wall? Or did I look like I had my arms up and I just ran through the wall like cheering? Initially, it was like this. I just break through the wall, just get through the wall, just get through the wall. And then little by little, I would notice that I'm like, okay, I think I'm ready. I got it. Now it's like, okay, mofos, let's do this. And breaking through whatever it is that feels like a challenge, that feels like a problem, it feels like an obstacle that my mind tells me I cannot do, I cannot overcome, that this is too hard, this is too challenging, I can't, I won't, I don't want to, I'm too tired. And I recognize that language, which is level 1 language, as an excuse to not try, to not go after what I really, really want, to stop, to slow down, to go back because it's easier, to stay in my cozy house instead of going out there and doing the scary and uncomfortable thing. Okay. This unpredictability occurs outside your ability to plan, regardless of if you've done everything right in alignment with the divine. It's imperative that you change your attitude now. Your attitude is your mindset. There was a tool that I got introduced to, and I used that tool quite a few times, and now I help others to use this tool as well. It's called Energy Leadership Index Assessment, and is quite literally an attitudinal assessment. It assesses your attitude. It does not assess your personality or character or traits, none of that. It assesses your attitude, your mindset, and it shows you from level 1 through 7 on who you're being on a regular day-to-day and when you're under stress. And most of you are aware and understand where you are, and most of you understand the energy levels as I've talked about them, and I continue to talk about them quite often. But until you go through the actual ELI, Energy Leadership Index Assessment, you will not fully see and have the proven evidence of who you are being and who you are. That will help you to identify the areas of yourself that you want to work on and improve to become someone who you desire and dream of being, but never have been thus far. Or at some point came close and then ran back because of the walls. So, check your attitude now. This temporary roadblock is not an obstacle to blast through. This is not an invitation to push harder, cancel other plans, or worry about who will win or lose. This is a stopping point to enable you to slow down and contemplate the part of the manifesting equation that you and everyone else forgets. This is an opportunity for you to also check. Just because you want something really bad and you really want it and the wall comes up, it is not an invitation for you to push harder, to do more, to fight for it. It could potentially be an opportunity for you to sit down maybe with your coach or with your inner coach and to figure out if this is actually what you want. To check yourself, to check your dreams, your goals, your desires, to check what you're about to do, to see if it is actually what you want and aligns with who you want to be as well. Sometimes it's not even what you want, and you recognize it's not when you hit a roadblock. It's a checkpoint. You come to a checkpoint, and then you have options to go this way, to go that way, to go this way, to go this way, this way, this way, that way. Not going backwards, because that's not an option. We don't go backwards. We don't walk backwards. And it's uncomfortable walking backwards. Try it. You'll see what I mean. Try walking backwards up the hill. That's a great exercise, but you'll be in pain pretty quickly. So we're meant to work forward. When you hit that wall, figure out why. Take the time. See. Check your attitude. Check where you are. Check who you are. Check with your values. Check with your goals, your dreams. Check with whoever is your cheerleader, your support system, to help you decipher why that wall is there or what's in it for you. Life on life's terms will override your best laid plans. Yes, as inconvenient as it may seem, this experience is an important reminder that you are a human being and not a human doing. A reminder that sometimes you focus on doing, and you don't spend enough time being. You don't spend enough time in the present moment. You're trying to get to the next goal, next task, next thing on your to-do list, on that next, on as if there's someone that's going to be checking all the things that you did and telling you whether you've been a good girl or a bad girl, whether you did good or bad. And I'm here to tell you that, pardon my language, but at the same time, this is my language. Nobody gives a shit of what you did or didn't do. Everybody's too self-centered, as we're meant to be, as we're supposed to be, to check themselves, to see what they did and didn't do. There are few people that will feel good about you doing and achieving things. Very, very few people. And there are few people, actually more than few people, that will feel great and amazing when you fail, when you don't do enough, or when you don't spend enough time being. Actually, nobody really cares about that. They think that by you spending a lot of time being, that you're not actually getting things done. But that's not the truth. You achieve more when you spend time with yourself, by yourself, where you are in the present moment. And then you have a lot more energy to do and complete whatever it is that you want to do and complete. So, think of life and your goals and dreams in this way. You have people who cheer you on and support you, and they're there for you. And then you have your haters. Who do you want cheering you on? Who do you want to prove right or prove wrong? Who do you really want to stick it to? Chances are it's going to be your haters. And too many of you, as once I was that same way, I gave in to my haters. I believed what they would tell me, and I would dim my light. Whereas today, I see my haters as my loudest support. And the reason for that is because they always tell me the truth. They don't sugarcoat shit. They tell me things as they see them. Are they always right? No. But sometimes they are. And I get to learn from that. I don't get to learn very much from my cheerleaders, from my supporters, from those that are telling me I'm doing a great job. I learn more from my haters. And they are my greatest motivators because I want to prove them wrong. And at the same time, I want to prove them right. Yes, you are right. But at the same time, let me prove you wrong. So instead of allowing those bullies to bully us and them winning, I know at the end of the day, you want to win. And I know at the end of the day, you also recognize that there is no winning or losing. There's just loving and enjoying life every day at a time, and each day more and more and more. So, which kind of person do you want to be? The one that lets the bullies win, the haters win, or the one that uses them as the most powerful coach or a trainer? Think of it like when you go to the gym and you have a personal trainer at the gym. You're gonna get more out of a workout if they're really pushing you and you're pushing your buttons. And you're gonna prove it to them, you're gonna stick it to them. Versus when you feel like you're broken and shattered because your coach, your personal trainer is too harsh and too mean to you. Whereas that is their job in a way. Yes, they could do it in a different way, but they're doing it in a way that they know has worked and expressing who they are. How you see and perceive whatever is in front of you, 95% of that is dependent on your default program. So if you don't like what you see, what you feel, and you experience, stop blaming the external world. Because the external world is a reflection of your internal world, which is 95% of your default programming. That is you. So if you don't like the external world, you're really saying that you don't like yourself. And if you don't like yourself, change. Change what you don't like about yourself so you can get to a place in your life that you actually like and love yourself. And the way to get there is to learn and apply the knowledge that you're learning. And you'll become the person that you want to be. Your external world is there showing you your internal world. Don't like it? You can't change anything about the external world. It's not up to you. The way that you can change the external world is by changing your internal world, yourself, your thoughts, your values, and maybe starting with identifying them, your personality as well. And that changes your personal reality. And then you will see the world that you actually love. Because in order for you to love the world, you gotta love yourself. The world, in a way, ceases to exist when you cease to exist. Yes, it'll go on, but it'll go on through everybody else's eyes, through everybody else's senses, through everybody else's internal world. That world will go on, but your world will cease to exist when you do. And it'll stay the same. But if you want to see the world differently, you're the one that needs to change, not the world. Not the people in your life, not your kids, not your friends, not your partners, not your parents, not your dog, none of those things. You're the one that needs to change. Because when you start changing, the way that you respond to everyone, because you're no longer going to be reacting, the way that you respond to everyone, the way that you even set boundaries, the way that you even speak up and speak your truth, the way that you carry yourself will change. And everybody else will feel like they've changed as well. And in reality, many of them will. And then while others will no longer be part of your life because they're unwilling to change and grow and evolve. Okay, let's keep going. Perhaps you're being reminded of your mortality, or that you are but a small part of a bigger universe, where your destiny intersects with others. Your life may be meant to serve another purpose at this moment, and your attention meant to be directed elsewhere. Consider that this place of temporary non-action is exactly the meant to be for you. Perhaps it's because all you desire and have set in motion needs time to coalesce into form on the other side. Could it be that all the elements are not yet in place for its manifestation to be for the highest good of all? Could it be? Yes, it can. Why? That's a great question. Take the time to answer that if you feel called to. I'll ask this question again. Could it be that all the elements are not yet in place for its manifestation to be for the highest good of all? Patience is required now, and the wisdom that this might be a great time to take a break and contemplate gratitude. What is truly yours will never be wailed off from you. What is truly yours will always be yours. But in order for you to have what's yours and to manifest it into reality, into your life in this lifetime, you need to become a different person. In order for you to become a mother, you needed to go through certain steps that allowed you to become a mother. You weren't born a mother, you became a mother. And with each child, you become a better and a better and a better mother, because each child teaches you something. But just like, and this is an example that I'm using, that let's say you wanted to get a house, to own a house, as I know many of you do, as I once did as well, that in order for you to become a house owner, you cannot go to sleep and wake up the next morning and be a house owner. In order for you to be a house owner, you need to become a certain type of a person, a woman that is a house owner. You need to go through all of these different hoops and learn these different things and apply the different things that you're learning, which will create a new version of you who is a house owner. And it's not going to happen overnight. Anything that you want in your life, you're not going to get it overnight. You need to earn it. You need to work for it. You need to go through lessons, training, jump through hoops, break through walls, climb through walls, rebuild walls. You need to go through different things in order for you to become someone who is not the you that you are today. If you want to be a happy person, optimistic person, and right now perhaps you're a pessimist and you're not a happy person, how are you going to get there? That's something that you need to take time to figure out. What do you need to do in order for you to change those parts of your default program that do not allow you to be this happy, optimistic, joyful person? The same thing with the program when it comes to being the house owner. There's a certain set of programs that you have within you that is not allowing you to become a house owner. And I say this because each and every one of you can own a house. It is much easier than your mind is telling you it is, no matter your circumstances. There's a will, there's a way. You can figure it out. So in order for you to become a house owner, what do you need to do to get there? Who do you need to become in order for you to get there? And it's going to be different for everyone. For some people, it's as simple as going to the bank and getting qualified for a mortgage or a loan or whatever it is that allows you to buy a house, buy a property, and then going and doing that. For others, you need to set a different plan in order for you to have the budget, have the savings, and maybe have some help from other places or other people, or going to a private lender and figuring out how will you become a house owner. But regardless of which path you're taking, you are going to be becoming a different person. Not entirely different, but a little bit different. That's how it works. You go in, you change your default program that does not allow you to become a house owner. You start reprogramming it by following your goals, your dreams, your plan to get there. And then when you change it, you become the house owner. And it also, you don't become a house owner the moment that you move into the house. Your default program is going to start coming up for you again and again and again once you move in. It's going to challenge you. It's going to cause you a little bit of discomfort because your belief systems are perhaps still not there yet. Because you've gone through, yes, I'm a house owner, now I have a house, but now, am I actually a house owner? Can I do this? Am I worthy? Am I good enough? Who am I to have a house? Same thing with happiness and joy. Anything that you want in life, it's going to go back to the reason why you don't have it is your default program, which, as I've talked about quite a few times, 95% of your day, that's where you're running on. This is how you're living, through that program. The rest of the time, you're You're in your head, you're thinking, you're dreaming, you're not in the present moment. So, how does this resonate with each and every one of you? Rebecca says, just like becoming a teacher, it took me, I don't see the number, 10 years to become a teacher. So many hoops, but I never gave up and kept crossing off the list, and eventually it happened. Perfect example. Becoming a teacher. You go through school, you go through all these different hoops, you go through all these systems, you try maybe even being this kind of teacher, that kind of teacher, and this kind of teacher, and that one, and you figure things out. Once we really truly understand that the life that we're living is just a bunch of programs, these default programs that we have within ourselves that dictates how we're going to be living our life and does not limit us, that we can actually change them, that's a great beginning. It's a great starting point to, okay, now what? Now what do I do? And the options are, I kid you not, are unlimited. Unlimited of what can help you to change and rewrite your default program. But all of them are going to be rooted in your mind, in your mindset. So this is where I feel like will be a great way to end today's video, today's card reading that I had for each and every one of you. A lot more came through than, I mean, I never planned these things, but a lot more than I thought. And these are great reminders for you and for myself as well. I believe each and every one of us is a guide and a messenger to one another. So some things that you guys said in the comments are great reminders and great guides and great lessons to me and to everybody else who's going to be looking through these comments as well. And then Rebecca says, I don't trust myself. Hey, Debbie, how are you doing? Beautiful. Debbie says, I'll catch up later. Now she was on here as well. Rebecca says, I don't trust myself to be responsible, so I feel I have to play small. I started a new routine and it was working, but I ended up having another emotional breakdown due to stress. This is actually a great reminder for me and for each and every one of you. Thank you for sharing that, Rebecca. This is what's going to happen when you are trying to, and the key word is trying to change your default program. You are going to be challenged and brought down to your knees because the roots that are within you, they don't want to come out. They're comfortable where they are. They want to stay where they are. And this is why most people won't change, because subconsciously they know it's hard. They know that they're going to have breakdowns and they don't want to feel that pain of a breakdown. But do you know what follows the breakdown? The next word that you used and the next thing that you said, which was, wow, Yana, I just had a breakthrough. In order for you to have a breakthrough, you need to have a breakdown. In order for you to see through that wall, through that glass ceiling, you need to break it first. When you break through a brick wall, it is going to hurt. It might potentially, figuratively speaking, break all of your bones and cut up your skin. And you're going to experience a breakdown. But where do you go when you're down? Up. That's the only way. You get back up and you have a breakthrough. When you break through the glass, you are going to get cut. You could potentially lose a finger when you break through glass, right? Imagine the pain and the agony that you will be going through. But the more you do it, the less it hurts, because in some ways you start to, it's referred to as like growing thicker skin. But I'll call it in this example, you grow an armor. It becomes much easier to break through those walls, to break through that glass ceiling that you'll continue to break through, because each glass ceiling that you break is a new limit, a new record, a new milestone. It's a new level that you have not reached and experienced. And of course, you're going to feel discomfort when you do that. Because, I mean, for many reasons, but the one that comes to mind is that you also need to grieve the old version of yourself. Because now you're someone new. You've learned so much and you've applied so much that now you're in this new existence and everything is new and it's fun and exciting at first. But then you get comfortable there. And this is where a lot of discomfort also can come from, when you are too comfortable and you are no longer challenging and growing yourself. So perhaps you've slowed down with learning new things every single day, your personal development, personal development. You stopped learning and then you stopped applying, which is your personal growth. One of those. What have you done? What did you learn new today? And what did you do about that new thing that you learned today? And it needs to be every single day. And then when you get comfortable with learning one new thing a day, and then applying that one new thing a day that you learned, you will find yourself comfortable. And when you find yourself comfortable, you actually start to feel uncomfortable in your comfort zone. That is your inner self telling you, we're not done growing, let's go. So then what happens is that you need to then move to, what are the 2 new things that you learned today and 2 new things that you applied and put into motion from those 2 things that you learned. Once you get comfortable there, you move on to 3 new things, and then 4 new things, and then 5 new things. This is how everything that you want to change in your life and in your programming, you do. If you want to be a person, this is one lesson that I like to do with women that I work with. Kind of like a homework. Do this one yourself as well, and then you can let me know how it went for you. Write out in the present tense your perfect day, your perfect week, your perfect month, starting with the perfect day. That's exercise number 1. Perfect day. What made your day perfect? What did you do? Every minute of the day that you can think of, how you started your morning, what were the sounds, what were the smells, what did you do, how did you spend your day, your whole entire day. And you can do that for the week as well. And see yourself in there. And start seeing, what do you need to do or change in order for you to live that life. Who do you need to become in order for you to live that life? Let's say, as an example, just for the morning, you woke up feeling happy, inspired, and motivated. You brushed your teeth. You went to the bathroom. You read a little bit of a book. You did a little bit of a meditation, maybe before even getting out of bed. Then perhaps you had your breakfast. Maybe in the first 20 minutes of your morning, you had your lemon water to kickstart your metabolism. And then you got ready for the day. You did your hair. You did your makeup. You made your bed. You got dressed. You did all of these things. But right now, let's say 90 or 100% of what I said, you don't do any of those things, but you want to. How capable do you think you are of structuring your perfect morning, and doing it every single day. All of these things every single day. How long do you think you'll be able to do it for until you have a breakdown? Chances are maybe a week, possibly 2. After that, it becomes so much, it becomes so overwhelming, and it starts to make you, it's like it breaks you down. So how do you get to become that person who lives through this perfect day? Through one thing a day that you want to do. You identify one thing that you want to do in the morning, every single morning, and you do that. If it's brushing your teeth, great. You start with that. You brush your teeth every day. By when? By when are you going to be done brushing your teeth? Brush your teeth. Done. Maybe that day you feel like you want to add something else, but I don't recommend it until about a week or maybe 2 of you just adding one thing. When it feels comfortable, when it feels easy, you add one more thing. It's like what I was telling you before. Remember how I was saying that you learn one thing and then you learn one thing and then you apply that one thing. After a while, you get comfortable and you start to feel, I don't know, irritated within. Then you add the second thing that you want to learn. Same thing with the habits. Same thing with your routines, with your schedules. You start with adding one thing. One new thing that you're going to do this week. Next week, before the week starts, reevaluate and be honest with yourself. Do I want to continue doing this one thing by itself, or do I want to add something else? If the answer is no, I just want to continue with this one thing, brushing my teeth, then you continue that. Don't add anything new. You can do this every day, but I recommend it on a weekly basis. On a Sunday or on a Monday. And then when the following week comes, week 3, you might find yourself, and this is where most women find themselves, that they are ready to add one new thing. And they also get so eager that they want to add 2 things. Don't do that. Add one. Otherwise, it's like you going to the gym and working out for 2 hours so hard and going so strong that now you are telling yourself and telling your subconscious that this is what you must do every time you go to the gym. You're not going to go to the gym. You're going to stop going to the gym. Start small. Start slow. Build up on it. And before you know it, you will have your perfect day. And you will wake up and not even realize that you have your perfect day. You'll do it for a while and then you finally realize, oh my God, I have been living my perfect day. And I don't even know for how long, because it was such a seamless process to get there. That's how we change our default programs. Little by little. Little by little. Little by little. Anyways, that's it. That's all I have. I know I gave a little bit more than after I already said that that's it. But thank you, everybody. Thank you for being on here, for interacting. I know I see there's quite a few comments on here as well. And I will respond to them shortly. But other than that, thank you for being on here. Thank you for participating. Welcome to all the new members as well. If you're watching this video up until the end, say hey. I do this every single Monday, and I don't know what's going to come through, but I always see it being quite valuable for everyone who watches, listens, and participates in the ways that they participate. Some just take notes, others take notes and comment as well, and then others just listen. Everybody has their own process. That's it. That's all. I shall see some of you tomorrow at the Sacred Circle at 10 a.m. where I will be hosting, and that's going to be Eastern time, where I will be hosting the Sacred Circle with a burn ceremony. Or I'll see you next Monday for another one of these weekly live card readings that I do at 11:45 a.m. Eastern time. And until next time, Bye, everybody. Have an amazing rest of your day. Thanks for being in here. Bye.